replays have been thrown away to the ethers of time. But there were some amazing games. 1 hour 20 games we had on it, so it's crazy.
It's a shame those replays didn't come through. Your camera, by the way, it's kind of can go up a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, I was sitting back. Now I'm sitting forward. Okay, so Burmie. Let me just get him for you now. He did pretty well. No, he's just through his own. He's here through his automatic ranks actually. His group was a bit crap. But yeah, he's here through his automatic ranks. His best faction is Brits. Have you seen VonIvan's commander? I love that. That's great.
We get to show everyone in a second. In fact, maybe we should just go into it now. So
yeah, sorry, I didn't realize.
I need to. There's one thing I need to do before any of this, which is I'm just going to change. We're doing it. I said I was going to run this skillfully. There we go. Now, guys, you can see what match we're on. That's quite cool, isn't it? Anyway, let's jump into the game. This is going to be game 1 of this series.
Game 1 of this series, indeed. In the south of Crossroads, you're watching VonIvan Soviets, the best Soviet player in the whole damn game, and he's up against the Aussie, the destroyer, Burmie in the north is Wehrmacht. What a matchup! What a tournament! Crash bang wallop! What a video!
Well, we already see the absolute classic thing from VonIvan. It's 3 engineers going to come out straight away. They were, as soon as the game loaded, 3 engineers hit those buttons straight away, had the resources for it. This is good for him. He's going to be able to get a decent amount of capping done in the early game if he can use them well. You know, then later on, they're going to become quite effective, really. We can go for like mass flamethrower flanks, limitless.
Do you want some dirty intel?
Go on.
Devem is really pissed because he can't even use mines against VonIvan's double minesweeper play. He really he's after a counter to M4C Shermans. He's struggling to even think of one as Wehrmacht because this quadruple combat engineer startup into the M4C into at first of course the Dushka is brutal to play against. However, Burmie is a hell of a player and he will take you by surprise if you take him lightly.
I think what's interesting is, you know, we saw a lot of players that were playing as the similar things from VonIvan who did very, very well in the early and mid game, but come late game, that was where VonIvan really started to pull everything out, you know, and start making it work for him, like all the decisions he'd been making throughout. So I actually think, you know, let's just see where he goes with this. It's certainly an interesting strategy, not what we're used to seeing. You know, he's a top player. You got to be watching this guy to see what he's doing and try and understand it.
Watch Burmie right now, though, with the aggressive MG42 play. He's pinning VonIvan's low-tech, low units, the work units, in the base pretty much, not being able to branch out, and soon he'll be trying to take that cutoff.
I'm really surprised with 4 engineers that he didn't go for that building in the center, because it's such an easy thing for you know, Oster to just run up and take. It's going to be the primary thing that they're looking for.
To be honest, by 2012 or 2012, Incoming Heroes 1 tournament meta, 4 worker units was the meta. 4 Pyos or 4 engineers as US. So it doesn't surprise me now to see a movement towards that in the late stages of Incoming Heroes 2's competitive life cycle. That the players are starting to think, with 4 worker units, I can actually tech to my more hardcore elite infantry whilst capping them up. So that's what we're starting to see. It's very interesting.
I think that's an absolutely beautiful way to treat the start game as Soviets, because we always say how slow it is. You know, whenever someone builds the tier 2, they go straight to the maxims. Or, you know, even if they do get that one conscript out, it's just ages, isn't it, really? So this is a really good reversal of the faction's weakness. Which is fantastic. Here we go, we've got flamethrowers upgraded on the engineers here. He's going to ground attack through the hedgerow to try and burn this MG out from a position where he is in cover.
Very clever. The MG42 is able to get away, however, and does do a hard retreat because, of course, the combat engineers behind the heavy cover and in the house and in the haystacks waiting on that retreat path. He could have done a lot worse.
A really nice play there indeed. But a very low health squad in that building. Wants to be sure that he doesn't lose it, but looks like he also wants to retain control of that building as well. He's going to make a deep push for the cutoff that's going to cut all the resources away from Burmie early on in the game. And Burmie does not have anything there to suppress the advances of these penal battalions just yet. Nice rifle nade. No. Oh, that could have gone, you know, Von was very, very quick to react to that. It could have gone 2 ways.
You got to say, this is a different tale to that previous game. This is competitive Company Heroes 2. Burmie's out for it today. He's only just woken up, by the way, but he doesn't show any signs of weariness. He seems like he's raring to go. He must have woken up just at the right moment in his sleep cycle. Do you know when you wake up and you're like, yes, this day is mine? Not, please don't make me go to school.
I'm yet to experience what that feels like.
Well, I have had it like 1 in 1,000. Maybe Burmie's been lucky today.
Yeah, it's straight off the bat, really. I mean, you could see that, you know, when we saw the DevM Fahu game, there was a little bit of a lack of aggression at the start, probably the psychology, as we said, of the players, you know, fearing, well, you know, Fahu may be fearing DevM in that situation. But here I don't really see that as much. You know, Burmie is playing a strong early game. He's got good territory. He took advantage of the engineers leaning all the way over to the right. So he's, you know, he's playing very, very well.
He actually is. I think both players have offered quite a lot in this game so far, and the map shows it. It's a patchwork quilt of different territory sectors changing hands. We've had no major losses. We just had some manpower exchanging hands. Very, very interesting and delicately poised tactical play so far.
We do see that VonIvan has gone for the Community Defense Commander, which, again, interesting choice. I have really bad memories of this commander, if I'm totally honest with you, because the what they call PMD-6, these mines that the engineers can lay are devastating to infantry. And I mean, they can just be laid absolutely everywhere. They're dirt cheap. So Burmie's going to have to be really careful. I think when Von gets into a position where he's got other units that can hold a front line, those mines are going to start coming down, and it's going to be very, very hard for Burmie to push the field.
I think VonIvan's chosen something interesting here, because the Dushka obviously is very, very good. It's 300 manpower, so it is expensive. You can't spam it, but it is as good as the pre-nerf Maxim. He's also, of course, got the 120mm mortar squad, so he can completely negate tier 2, go straight for, that's right, the M5 half-track with eventually the quad mount, and go for a very interesting, aggressive, and unpredictable build.
It is one of the... I mean, I think because all of the abilities unlock pretty much straight away. You could argue it's one of the most flexible. It's one of the most flexible starting commanders you can get.
I think it's probably one of the most underutilized. People just look at it on paper and think, no late game potential, it must be crap. But if you're an aggressive player like VonIvan is, maybe you can make it work.
Well, he certainly is making the MG on top of the half-track work there. Unfortunately, the scout car is out in the field now. Going to challenge that a little bit to move back into the base. And good work from the flamethrower pioneers.
Oh, there you go, though. The quad mount is now upgraded. That 200 Svansig has got to get the hell out of there. The M5 is now what is called a light armor killing machine.
That's another really good choice, especially against such a heavy infantry-based build in the early game from Burmie. You know, he's just gone like the standard 3 Grens and MG, but it's going to get shredded by that unit. But Burmie's making good time with the AT gun. That AT gun's going to come out before 8 minutes of the game, which is a very, very good time to have that out with a strong army still in the field. It's not going to be an easy game for VonIvan with that unit at all. And he will lose the ability to reinforce in the field with it.
Tight gameplay from Burmie. He's playing exceptionally well with regards to build order, map control, and overall micro, to be honest. He's giving us a really competitive game here as the 222 is getting gunned down by the quad mount. He's trying to get out of there. The Pak 40 now is in position, though. 1 shot required, maybe 2. He's going to get out of there.
Oh, very, very lucky for Von that he didn't take an extra couple of shots from the scout car. Good play though. I mean, Von made a really good push with the overdrive then. Popped overdrive on that quad cal to get in. Didn't work, but I don't think Burmie's got too much to be sad about there. I don't really think the scout car was going to give him much more on the field, to be honest.
No, it had been countered, to be honest, the scout cars. 250 manpower, 30 fuel down the drain, so it's just like an infantry squad loss and a bit of fuel, I guess. It's not the end of the world. He's still doing very well. And here we go, the first Dushka of GCS, and probably not the last.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Just seen Von there laying some of those cheeky anti-personnel mines on the left fuel, and I need to actually check again because so rare that you see this commander played. You need to check the actual cost of those. As I recall it was something like 8 munitions. It's something really, really small.
Yeah, they are really, really cheap, and you know, they can be okay. It's one of those things. If you're good at shift commanding them, you can make them really good.
Well, we're going to see a mortar come out from Burmie. I'm 100% sure on the choice of that. We've only got the one Dishka on the field at the moment, which is only just revealed. So the mortar preemptive must have been there really to counter something else. And perhaps he's just worried that Von's going to be able to control a lot of the buildings. Maybe he wants it to just take some lucky shots and clear some mines. That's a great rifle nade from Burmie on the left on the Dishka.
Oh, Dushka steal could be enormous. He's got the Pioneer. However, I suppose the M42 is watching over the Grenadiers, but it looks like, yeah, he's got out of there just about.
That was a very good play by VonIvan to actually rescue that situation, because that could easily have been reclaimed. But again, you know, one of those players that doesn't hit the retreat button straight away, stays there and plays the engagement out to the full. Going to save himself his Dishka. That would have been a pretty big upset for him, I think, if he'd lost that. There's not really much that the engineers can do to counter it.
No, it's very surprising he managed to. I thought, for all intents and purposes, Burmie had gotten himself into this. With getting the Dushka, well, he's already into it, but even more into it. If he'd gotten the Dushka as a steal, that would have been massive. 300 manpower those things cost.
Oh, it looks like we've got anti-personnel mines on the retreat path here for these Grenadiers. If he can get a couple of these off, he might actually wipe the squad as it's coming on its retreat path. Oh, but there comes the mortar into play from Burmie. So that actually triggered the mine, but it might be that this one finally finishes it. Oh, that was incredibly lucky. I don't actually know. He did get the mine planted. It just, unfortunately, didn't trigger it.
Triggered, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that mortar actually helped itself a lot there. It saved that squad entirely.
And there you go. It straight away paid for itself. The M5 has more than paid for itself as well. 4 kills, but a lot of health damage. One of those kills was, of course, the scout car. Veterancy 2 already, so this thing's a bit of a beast on the field. Must be said though, Dan, if looking at pop caps, Burmie 50, VonIvan 42, looking at victory points, only now has VonIvan eked ahead in the victory point battle. Very fair contest.
It is fair, and it's only going to get to a point. I mean, I'm really interested to see what the late game is for Von here. I am actually keen to see that, because I think Burmie has a really good opportunity here to just very, very solidly hold this line he's got with the VP and resources, hold that area. I don't think Von's got that much pushing potential. I think he's got great when it does kind of come down to it, but in engagements. But I don't think he's actually got the potential to really push Burmie off the field.
Very exciting engagements there. The Pak-40 was going for the M5. However, then we got the Penals coming to the rescue, just clearing house with those SVTs. Such good DPS from that unit. Already 13 kills in that particular squad, the Vet 2 squad.
Let's see if this mortar crew can actually get the Penal battalion there. I think VonIvan just spotted that. Going to move the squad away a little bit. Oh no, actually they were going for the different spot.
VonIvan with the T-34-76 coming out. The first of possibly many. Very cheap unit. Of course, only costs 80 fuel, 300 manpower. And at this stage of the game, 13 minutes in it'll hit. It's going to be pretty much unrivaled.
It's quite a fast 76, to be honest. It's a very good strategy from what I've seen so far. He's playing, I know he's playing it very, very well, but I mean, the general idea of it is very good, and I love the light anti-tank gun that was used, really just to clear up the light vehicles from Ostir, because he's forcing Burmie to basically tech. That's what he's doing. He's putting a lot of pressure on, and if he ever needs it, if Burmie does decide to
dangerous
go
here. He's got the M5 coming in. He's got the flamethrower going down on the pack. He's decrewed the pack. He's suppressed the support weapons. This has been a big push for VonIvan. Deceptively big push, because at first it looked like nothing, but he can make something out of nothing. VonIvan is a very fearsome player. As the T-34-76 rears into view.
Yeah, this is going to be a T-76. Probably going to go for some crushes there. Managed to get one model before Burmie retreats. Now we've got the quad-cal half-track just pulverizing these units that are coming in on the retreat, and he's going to go for the decap at the same time. Flamethrower going in to weaken the health. I'm surprised none of these models are going down. I would definitely say Burmie's got a bit of a lucky one there, but now he's got bunched up squads in the base, which means the T-34 could just crush. It's going to crush everything.
Yes, comrade, crush the the invaders, indeed, and he's also about to steal the Pack 40. This is what VonIvan is great at. Second Pack 40 comes out there. The units are now condensed in the central sector. The M5 is going to have to go round the Pack 40. It hits the T-34, trying to decrew that Pack 40. Needs 2 more models. T-34 makes it around the base sector to survival.
Wow, that's a very, very good quick play by VonIvan there, managing to get that decrewed, not even allowing the other Grenadiers to go and pick that up. At the moment, we don't have any munitions available for Burmie to put a Faust on, so the T-34-76 is completely unrivaled in his opponent's base at this moment. There is nothing to deal with this situation right now. Everything is going to die.
Everything is going to die, Kappa Claus. VonIvan is a fiercely aggressive player. You show him a slight weakness, you show him a pack against a bush, true sight, he will absolutely ravage you, he'll rampage around you, and then that will cascade downwards and your army will come toppling down. That is VonIvan. He's a very, very aggressive player, and he's #1 Soviets for a reason.
Wow, that just goes to show why, really. This is such good play from VonIvan. What a good spot. What a good prediction as well. You know, he knew there was going to be 180 only. Even with the second one in the build, he was prepared for it. He's prepared to meet the austere base defenses. You know, had that been OKW, different story, but...
Could you just show them that bush near the cutoff? So just to the left of the victory point, the central victory point. There's that bush where the AT gun was. Could you just show them that, please?
I think I remember where you were.
Yes.
North or...
in the centre. So the centre left of the central victory point, that heavy hedgerow, yeah?
Yep.
So just to give some analysis of exactly what happened there, Burmese Pack 40 was pushing into the centre to try and find the M5. Combat engineers with a flamethrower spotted it. Then he obviously, VonIvan realised Burmie is going to have to react and push the Pack 40 away. He'd already gotten the suppression off with the M5 to keep the support weapon suppressed, which then allows everything in a big... like stack of cards coming tumbling down sequence. So he's able to push Burmie from here all the way into his base sector. Everything was going wrong around him. The M5 was literally slaughtering units on retreat. It got a Grenadier on retreat. And then you saw what happened with the second Pack 40. A normal player would probably panic when the second Pack 40 came in. And what did he do instead, Dan?
I mean, he went in for it. He went round the back. He just cleared the models off straight away. It was so unfortunate because just a little more munitions, you know, a couple more munitions. He would have been able to maybe Faust the T-34 or Faust the half-track so that it didn't go and destroy the AT gun. Like, all those options and just for the small unfortunate fact that he had spent his munitions somewhere. But huge plays from Von there. Absolutely huge plays. I'm just going to leave that game quickly to go back into the lobby. Really, really good game, and just goes to show really how, you know, there are moments in this game, you know, if you do take your AT gun a little bit too far forward, you just get so much punishment. You know, you can heavily punish people about this. Dare I say it, this is one of the things I think I'm not going to enjoy about Dawn of War, is that you can't base rush like that. That kind of thing excites me.
If I were to show you everything I'm not going to enjoy about Dawn of War, I could actually either write it on an encyclopedia or on a postage stamp, because for one, I'm never going to play Dawn of War, and for two, there's too much wrong with Dawn of War for me to even play it. Company Heroes is Relic's magnum opus, is their gift to the gaming world. It's a beautiful RTS that isn't anything like any other RTS in the world, so I have no interest in what I would like to call a copy RTS. It's just another game that's trying to be like StarCraft, trying to be like all the others that have come before it. Company Heroes is their best franchise. It's their gift to the world, and I love it dearly. And I have no time for anything else. I'm a terrible person, aren't I? But it's true. I have no time for anything else. This game's beautiful. It's got so many elements that you don't see in other RTSs. Why change what works, is all I say.
Something different, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
Company Heroes, in my opinion, will always be like the better RTS from Relic. But actually, do you know what? I was surprised to find that the start game of Dawn of War is relatively similar to Company Heroes. Still,
I've heard the campaign of Dawn of War is good.
It's like 200 pop cap. It's like I watched everyone playing. It's like 200 pop cap scenarios at the end. Like
I just got so much love from the chat. I'm so happy with that. That's great. But yeah, I'm not dissing Dawn of War. I want it to sell well because I want to see Come Heroes 3.
I just invited VonIvan to the observer party. I don't know why I did that.
Bad idea.
Yeah, I need you. Sorry. He's going to get that and he's going to think I'm trolling him.
By the way, update the scores. GB Hooligan has informed you.
I certainly will. Bear with me 1 second.
I have some legendary chat from Burmie. He says, "Don't worry, boys. The coffee is kicking in."
Good man.
Yeah, I like.
Are you going to
Burmie.
accept the
Seems
invite
good.
to the?
When I backed out of this game, by the way, I was too busy ranting. Well, one of our favourite pastimes, I believe.
Just ranting about the random musings of AE Kotu.
They were random, but yes, they were musings. Okay, give me an invite. Go on.
Another one. Okay.
Yes, I'm a dirty inviter. Get me in this. Right, got it. There we go.
You're in? Sweet. Let's do it.
So that first game did go to VonIvan. He had 441 victory points. The GCS Battle Planner currently doesn't have the ability for an admin to update things. And as the players aren't quite comfortable with it quite yet, we're just going to use it to start up the coin toss and such for the first day. Even in a couple of days, this thing will have full functionality. So if you guys want to go out there and play with it and challenge your buddies to using it, it's so cool, man. It's going to be a gift to the community from Kvezar and on behalf of the GCS project. So I will link it in chat for everybody to enjoy.
Bear with me 1 second.
And
Oh, they've
bearing with
actually
you,
put a weight. They put a waiter on this one. They didn't on the last one. Fair enough.
yes. Okay, so I'll give another Hall of Data shout out to people that have been doing it. I'll give some of the quicker ones. Ishtari, who's a bit of a legend. I get hyped for high level play and love AE and Stormus' casts. Don't know what else to say. Man of few words, but a man of direct words.
I know he's a man of few words because he wrote in that book that I brought to the Swedish thing. It was just like, "Hi, really glad you came. Nice to meet you."
Tomikaze, who is coming to Leicester, England, by the way, for the grand final on the 1st of July. What counts is not necessarily the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight in the dog. DD Eisenhower. Thanks, Kotu, for all the good times. You're the greatest game I've ever been a part of. Kudos to AE Stormus and the rest of the GCS crew for keeping it real. Nice, thank you, Tomikaze. We'll be seeing you in July, 1st of July. Looking forward to it. By the way, Dan Burmie, he said he wants to fly over. He has a UK passport. So
Great.
Yeah, we've got people wanting to come to this final. I think the venue holders who have told us between 50 and 50, they said it can seat up to 100, but the most they've ever had is 50, by the way, for like, I won't say what events because then people make it too easy to Google. I think we're going to exceed their expectations on that one.
I was certainly hoping it's about time people start taking us seriously as a community. You know, we've done big things, so let's make it go further. The game's ready, by the way. Do you need to say anything?
1 minute 32 I've got.
Oh, I'm actually the match.
Oh, it just popped up. Amazing. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. I'm ready as well. Yes, it's your turn to introduce.
Again, I always introduce.
Okay, I'll introduce then. That's fine. God, we're like a married couple, aren't we?
We're live. Go.
Hello there, and welcome from the south of Crossing. No, it's not Crossings.
The Crossroads.
It's Crossroads. Let me start again. Hello, and welcome to Argentan Crossroads. You're watching Burmie as the south as the British forces, the British Expeditionary Forces, the Aussie here, fighting for the Empire. He's up against VonIvan in the north, who's already locked in Pro-Strupen as Wehrmacht. Tell me what your Hawkeyes see there, Daniel.
Well, I see 2 Ostruben instantly selected, and again, very good commander against the Brits. We always saw Helping Hands play this very, very well. Just want to point out, whilst we're looking at this on the screen right now, great sandbag positioning by Burmie there. A lot of people would build those up towards the victory point. What he's done is built it at an angle where his opponent can't really benefit from it if he goes up to it. So a different way of doing it, but certainly a good way of doing it.
I think Burmie's showing that he is a high-class and high-level player. I thought that first game, other than VonIvan's superlative aggression in the exact right moment, Burmie was equal to him. So if he can be equally as aggressive and exploit VonIvan's weaknesses, which there are some, you know, we could actually see Burmie make this a really good series. I'm not even trying to hype it up unnecessarily here. That's genuinely the case.
Well, I mean, one of the things that's really characteristic of this Osthupen build is that you can rush into the tier 2 very, very quickly with Oster and get all of those light vehicles out. I do think hopefully we get to see some kind of prediction of that, some kind of counter to that, which would be nice to see. He needs to get it sorted early on. It's one of those things that if you mess up as Oster, then you leave yourself in a bit of a funny position if you go heavy on the vehicle rush and it gets countered.
Burmie's getting out of position a little bit in the east there, showing a little bit of tiredness. Doesn't matter though, pushes away the Austrian, but still, it's not the best of signs. He does have a UC in the build, possibly becoming a Vickers carrier very shortly. Yes, it's
I'm going to go for Vickers.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, or Wasp, possibly. But you mostly see Vickers, especially against Osttroop, and he'll want the mobile suppression platform.
I think it's one of those units because the Universal Carrier, in a way, negates VonIvan's ability to play Tier 2 Rush, because he needs to build Tier 1 in order to get the Fausts. So his Osthupen can't Faust at the moment, and if he does rush the Tier 2, he's going to give this Universal Carrier a long time to basically play the field without any risk of snares. Now, he's not going to know that. He's not going to know whether Von's built Tier 1 or not. But, you know, maybe there's a little thing there where, you know, he's subconsciously just forcing Von's hand to tech and gaining that advantage over the Osthupen, a way of stopping that rush.
Oh yeah, I mean, it has Faust from the get-go, and...
No, the Osthupen. Oh, do they? Oh, he's built Tier 1. Fantastic.
Oh, yes, of course, there you go.
Did he build Tier 1? When did he build Tier 1?
Yeah, we were both confused there. We were both wrong as well, but he
no, I was casting it like he hadn't built Tier 1. Maybe he did. My bad.
I must have done, because it's in base. He must have done, quite clearly.
A new infantry section is ready for battle.
Professional casting from, yet again, from 80 Stormers.
Oh, you just don't see 3 Osthupen come up that quickly with a Tier 1. I'm impressed.
Flabbergasted, almost.
I really am. Wow, and he's, in fact, it's even better for Von then, so he's like nearly predicted that the universe... It's like a counter! It's like a counter and a counter, my head's spinning,
VonIvan can do that to you. He's a very handsome gentleman with a lovely baritone voice. He'll sweep you off your feet. Kappa clash.
I mean, that's certainly the right thing to do. So for Osthupen, he's got the ability to Faust. I wonder if he is going to get anything from the Tier 1 now, but he's going to elect to go medics in the base. So at least the Osthupen will be doing well. And I guess at least the Osthupen could just swarm over the Brits for a little while, whilst he just finds out what he's going to do.
Gotta be honest, VonIvan has literally used the central garrison to its absolute zenith here. He's not left it for a second. He's always stayed in it. And the UC isn't great as a garrison clearing tool, unless it were to go Wasp, for example, which is still a possibility if we were to get the 90 munitions dedicated to it. So at the moment, it's looking like Burmie has been a little bit out strategized, and VonIvan's tactics are superior.
He's certainly worked on his strategies, that's for sure. I think that's the difference as well, because Burmie is clearly playing what you'd call like a standard game, you know, like a standard auto-match game. Von is very much showing, you know, like a tournament build. Like, he's clearly put some thought into this. He clearly knows what he's doing against each faction. He clearly knows how to counter the start games of factions very, very well. Dangerously close to losing an Osthupen in this building, though.
That's the VonIvan way, but he does get out of the right side of the garrison. Retreats. The Tommies are going to go down on try and get them on retreat, though. Need to line up those shots. Rate of fire, isn't it? Their fight. Oh.
One shot away from that being lost.
But it is the generation of random numbers at times to try and see if you can get that last shot. But especially when you're out of cover as Brits, you don't have that rate of fire, so your chances of getting it are diminished.
Still nothing from the Universal Carrier yet. No upgrades planned so far. He does have access to go for the Vickers, but it looks like he probably will. I don't know. I don't even know if he's paying attention to that right now. He might actually find it's a little bit too risky to put any upgrades on it.
Especially now Tier 2 is up in base for VonIvan, so the UC's natural counters will be fielded very shortly. Oh, finally Burmie's able to de-garrison that building. And he's able to finally take what is rightfully his on his side of the map.
Oh, picks up the engineers as well.
There you go. So first actual squad wipe goes in Burmie's favour.
It's interesting. I mean, like Brits are always one of those factions that start a little bit slow. So, you know, Burmie has played very, very well in the respect that he's, you know, just played a very slow game, tried to make sure he doesn't lose anything. Now we've got a Bofors going up, which is going to try and control kind of that area between VP and the fuel. And if he can get that up really quickly, that'll be huge problems for VonIvan, because the Ostrupen certainly aren't going to be able to do anything. But now he's forced to stay in this engagement with the Tommies.
Forced to, Dan, because he has to cover for the Vickers. However, these squads aren't healthy enough to cover. He's 70% of the way there. It's now going to field not quite fully health. The flame is dawning on it. It's going to pop. Is it going to be able to do enough damage?
No,
there you go.
He's got that.
There, he's got it. He's got it.
Very, very fortunate. That could have gone a number of ways, but he actually handled that situation very well. I think it was a very tense situation there. Could have resulted in him being pushed off the map without the Bofors, and that Bofors pretty much secured him to just sit in the position he's in, probably force VonIvan to do something else, and the Universal Carrier is defending it, so that was a good...
It's also a fantastic point for the Bofors, but you need to watch out for one thing, Dan. That hedge in front of it will not block shots, it'll only block sight. So if VonIvan's to get a pack into position, or maybe a Stug 3, he'll be able to pick that Bofors off from a distance, from cover. So he's going to have to be aggressive now, Burmie. Surprisingly, he can't just sit back, because VonIvan will be out to destroy the Bofors.
Yeah, even if he does that, I do think Burmie's kind of still had a little bit of a mini win though, because you know that's got to force. Oh, is Burmie trying to destroy the hedgerow to get the vision? Wow, what a great idea! There we go. So he's going to try and clear as much as he can, so that the Bofors can get maximum work done against the Ostrupen. This is brilliant play from the Brit player. Going to see VonIvan come up against a bit of a challenge. He's going to have to maybe look at getting mortars or something to brace that and take it down.
He is, and of course it does have brace, so it'll be able to defend itself. This is perfect. He's actually made the map more open, so if he gets a 6-pounder out, possibly even back text to a sniper in the when he's got the manpower later on, he'll be able to really exploit this eastern side of the map now. What an interesting play. Oh, but he does lose a squad whilst I'm talking about all that infantry section.
Yeah, that was
down.
really unfortunate that he lost that. Very low health, didn't quite retreat it in time. You know, it's not that bad. It's not the end of the world.
And somebody in chat's just said it makes it easier for packs. No, I don't think it does. The Shreks, it definitely is going to be easy for. They're going to be able to duke out behind there. They are now getting countered by the Bofors. UC is somehow still alive, Daniel.
I don't know how the Universal Carrier didn't die there. It has the most. If you look at the health bar in the right-hand side of the screen, there's no health basically. They're very, very lucky that minute forces kept that alive.
I don't like what he's doing, capping these points in the North Burmie. I don't think he's fully ready to be capping around the map yet, in all honesty. I would argue that he needs to stay in the centre and the east until he's up full force, because the Brits' weak early game, which he's still in my opinion.
Supply line's been cut.
He is. He must just be going for a little bit of a resource decap for them. I can't even say these words. Resource decap at the moment. But I don't know where. I mean, he's gone special weapons regiment. He's already got the anti-tank rifles on the field. I'm not really sure where he's going to go with this. Whether at the moment, I mean, he's got his one field. He should be able to still attack properly.
Oh, I know where he's going with this.
Because if he's decapping like that, I would have thought that meant, if he was decapping, that he was kind of trying to stop VonIvan from getting vehicles out on the field quickly. Which suggests he may be saving for something late game.
He just used suppressive barrage from the Bofors. He got the Tommy inside it, and he destroyed that central garrison, so it's no longer an issue. The point, by the way, of the M3 half track from Special Weapons Regiment is the fuel savings. You do not have to tech for Bren's or for the Piats. You can just deploy them for a cost of munitions, so you actually save fuel in the long run.
It's a really good unit, this. Very good unit. It's one of those ones that allows you to just, like, move your army up. You can drop whatever weapons you need, you can reinforce them.
Hans will be using it in the tournament. He's made he's not been shy about that. It is his Brit strategy of choice at the moment, and players have taken notice.
This is nice. I really feel like Burmie's managed to find a way of starting to counter the Ostroupen. If the anti-tank rifle squads weren't enough with the Tommies, he's now managed to upgrade with the Vickers. Nearly tries to get Ostroupen on the retreat. They don't die. But he's certainly starting to make little pushes all around now, reinforcing on the move, which is fantastic. And Von's Ostroupen strategy is starting to fall apart as we get into the mid-game.
However, the Panzerfier is about to hit the field with no natural counters on. Where is the 6-pounder he needs? Because it's an obvious thing that's happening. He's going to be in a little bit of a dire situation with his light vehicles.
Burmie trying to destroy some green cover in the center of the map. Just making sure, again, the Ostroupen have absolutely nothing that they can do. I mean, you're right, this is actually a big hole. He has been putting mines down. He put some mines down on the right side earlier, so hopefully that's covered when the Panzer IV drives over. And it looks like the Panzer IV is going to drive over it now. If it gets stunned on these mines whilst trying to attack the Bofors, that's so close.
So close, yet so far away. It is binary sometimes with some of your heroes. And in this case, it's in a kind of quantum state of both being mined and not mined.
Yeah, good idea to pop the brace there. He's driven him with something, which seems to have forced VonIvan back for a moment. Maybe Von thought it was some kind of medium vehicle that was there. It's not. There go the grenades as well. Great grenade!
Oh, God, no the humanity. He's losing too much now. Panzerfier is coming in for the kill. 6-pounder should be just getting in position to keep the Bofors alive. If it can get there, we have had an anti-tank rifle grenade go in.
Anti-tank rifle squad actually doing a pretty good job there, and Von's decided to ground attack through the hedgerow now to try and get the Bofors. He knows the position of it already, so these shots should hit. It's only going to take one more shot, and brace is not available for another 15-20 seconds. This should be the end of the Bofors. There it goes. We just don't have AT quite far up enough to deal with this.
We do have a tank hunter infantry section. It does have a heat grenade available, but it's not enough. It's not enough at all when the Ostroupen are gunning them down. What an interesting game so far. I think Burmie, despite losing so far, he's been a very good player, and it shows the quality in the Grand Championship Series, in my opinion. All these round ones are going to be very castable. It's not going to be the case where you just see stomps. It's going to be a very exciting tournament from the get-go.
I mean, yeah, one of the lower seeds playing the higher seeds, and if you get good games like this, it's generally a good sign. I'm kind of wondering what he's going to do from here on. Let's have a look at Burmie's tech quickly. So he doesn't have any access to medium tier vehicles at the moment, which kind of leads me to suggest he might go just straight into the Crocodile later on.
If he gets there, of course, and to be honest, he does have the tools at his disposal to get there. He still has 3 Tommies, he's now got the 6-pounder, he's still got his 2 light vehicles, he's just lost the Bofors, which obviously is expensive, but he's still in the game.
I mean, not to make a bad pun here, but he is definitely at a crossroads with how he should be attacking right now. He can go one way, whether he does go for those medium tiers and start to clear up the map with, you know, guaranteed good unit, one that is good against infantry and tanks alike. If he does go for the Crocodile, I'm kind of worried that he will suffer late game. You know, maybe he'll suffer to Stooks, maybe suffer to, you know, Von decides to take up further than that. We may see the Tank Hunter squad go down there to the Ostroupen.
Oh, they just about managed to make it behind that bush. Did you see the rifles hit the bush? This leaves the pushing up. So the retreat paths are automatically generated with an algorithm, the closest, least path of resistance home. And sometimes they can be the difference between life and death. Will it go behind a bush at this precise moment for a volley of fire? Yes, it will, and it survives.
Oh, Von, great ground attack there to destroy the mine. Not a ground attack, actually. He had the minesweepers, you would have seen that.
Yeah, I guess. You're all right. So that'd be attack move, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. I can play Code 2.
Von just looks so casual when he's playing. It's quite funny because he's just got units everywhere. You go left, there's some Ostroupen. You go through the center, there's some Panzerschrecks. You know, he really has encompassed the map. And it's one thing, like, every single game we've seen of him really has been all about that brutal early game. I feel like if you could handle Von's early game, you know, Burmie did a good job. you know, you have a good chance in the mid game. But it's all about that quick teching and quick rushing with Von. You definitely see that in the first 2 games.
Interestingly, from Burning Edges in chat, just to give you a heads up, Fredbrick is the one that adopted this brick commander and showed us how to use it. Hans adopted it from him. So it's Fredbrick we have to thank, I guess, for this commander being a big prominent feature. And we will be seeing Fredbrick later today on Romeo's stream as he faces Earth.
The whole Earth?
The entire Earth, as the M3 is now having the entire weight of these Panzer Grenadiers bearing down upon them. As the Panzer Fear comes into view, there's another one waiting as well.
That was a huge bundle laid there from the Panzer Grenadiers. 2 Panzer IVs are trying to get past the AT gun so they can take out the half-track. AT gun isn't responding to any of this at all. It hasn't turned around once in these situations. It looks like the Tommies, they already had 1 heat grenade turn off. A squad goes down. Again, just great plays from Von. It is the rush. It was the same rush we saw in the last game, and Burmie was not prepared for it.
Oh, what a rush as the Panzer Fears come in, as the infantry cascades all upon Burmie's forces, and they're left rattled, weary, and longing back for the Blighty, to be honest. Burmie is great in the early game, great in the start of the mid-game, but then Von realises it's time to stomp, and he goes all out.
It's just so brutal. It's look, you notice he's got like 3 Vet 3 Ostrupen. His play has been on point today. Absolutely on point.
He really is. On point is bang on to describe how VonIvan's playing. He was given 4th seed based on his history, but in all honesty, I'll say it again, seeding him based on the evidence of the past couple of weeks of play, especially against scrimming against Devem, you'd have argued that he should have had a higher seed. However, the tournament's now wide open for Railway Artillery. Carl Gustaf showing that Burmie needs to surrender, and indeed he does.
Oh man, Von looks really strong, really strong. Because the funny thing is, you know, like when we were doing the seeding, or you know, you're just kind of watching Von here and there, you just think, I can't seed this guy highly, like his preservation's terrible, like any top player is going to rip him to shreds. But then when you watch him in his tournament mode, when he plays games like this, you're like, probably one of the best players, you know, easily like what, best of NA, like.
Definitely, yeah, I'd say so, yeah. Well, he's from Australia, so he kind of belongs to his own continent, I guess. But Burmie's a cracking player, as displayed here, but VonIvan's just a different class.
So they're going to go to their 3rd game now. Could see two of the series today closing in 3 games, which would be a little unfortunate. But then again, you know, 2 very good players that we've been able to cast. 3rd game's going to be on a different map. Do you know if they're updating the battle planner, or are they just
getting them to do it as we speak? I'm just going to get them to click.
Oh, okay, that's good then. Oh, it's connecting me. Why is it connecting me? There we go. There we go. So this is currently what we're seeing on the what should be. What's happened? Oh, really? Oh, that's good. I probably have to restart XSplit. It's still running, it just seems like it's jammed. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's not... I'm gonna say that's not coming back on again. Sidaroth, it's not muted mic, it's XSplit has frozen. I don't even know how we're still streaming, it's frozen. Let me give it a couple of seconds just to see if it can right itself. Nope, it's down. Okay, I'm gonna have to restart the stream. Thank God this didn't happen in game. That would have been a nightmare. So bear with me a couple of seconds. We'll restart this. We'll watch the battle planner, or you guys can watch it using the link that's in chat. We'll be back in just a couple of moments.